I thought it would be fun for Marius and I to take a walk around the barnyard today and show you all our homesteading failures this year.
It was a shitty year. It was a drought year.
Yeah.
I poured water on this garden every day for like 2 months straight. Yeah. Sometimes morning and night. And look what we got out of it. It was worth it.
So there's some things, our
That's
peas,
not a failure.
Peas quit after maybe 2 weeks. The peas just quit. Mm-hmm. So that was
We got lots.
I don't think we had anything that was a full out failure. But we had lots of things that didn't turn out like we would expect. So we had a drought year. Hay crops are horrible. People having to bring in hay, sell cows. We live in a huge agricultural area, and it's just a detrimental year for a lot of reasons. So people ran out of grazing. We were really fortunate we never ran out of grazing. Our cows are still grazing. We haven't started feeding hay yet to our cows and goats. And it's mid-September. Not many people can say that. Mm-hmm. Let's walk up the garden a bit. Okay, so this section did pretty good. The Kariba potatoes, which are dyed in here now, they never do amazing, but we just keep doing them anyways.
This is the only failure. The weeds took over.
Yeah, the weeds did take over in the potatoes,
only
for sure.
Places, this patch is actually clear.
You know what? Our onions, we didn't get them in ground as soon as we should have. And so we have a lot of small onions that won't store well. So we will probably freeze dry a pile of these, and that's how we'll preserve them. White wing.
Some of them came out.
That's called white wing, that one.
They're not all small.
No. Those ones will store well. It'll be like that doesn't store well.
We planted late, but a lot of people planted early when we had a freak heat wave in May and lost everything because then it got cold again.
We got what, like -5 in June? Mm-hmm. We had frost July 4th.
Yeah.
A hard frost. So up here, I would say in the cabbages, the red cabbages were a fail. I planted 2 different varieties and neither of them did well. That really was crappy. So that was a bit of a fail. In our green cabbages, we had way less splitting than usual. I planted varieties that are
we could pull our beans
split resistant. Yes, the beans need to be picked and then they can be pulled.
We're done.
Yeah, they do have one picking left.
Yep.
These are all storage cabbages. I got to sort through and see which ones will store well and which one need to be made kraut.
The cabbages did good. Look at the size of that.
Yes, the green cabbages did well. The purple cabbages, which I was hoping to do well on this year, did not do well.
But watered every
Yeah, no,
day
it was
for
just
like
the variety. I don't know what it was. I did 2 varieties. Neither did well.
These got a lot of water though.
Yeah. We're almost at how much kraut we want. Your dad wants to make some more kraut. We grow cabbage and broccoli for one of Marius's brothers and his parents. His parents have club root in their soil, so they can't grow any brassica. So we grow all the brassicas for them, and Marius's brother helps us with things, and in exchange, he gets garden harvests. He gets a portion of everything. Basically, once we have what we need, he takes as much as he wants, and we always grow too much anyways.
He loves doing this.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have a place where he can do it.
Yeah.
So, and it's not far for him to come here and help.
Yeah, so that works out really well. Mm-hmm. This was a new thing for us. This Marius grew tobacco, and it's more work than he thought it would be, I think.
No, I just didn't know what to do.
The curing process, the drying and curing.
It did really well with the drought year.
Mm-hmm.
Spectacular. We had endless water for it.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go up to the animals.
Mm-hmm. Considering them. Everyone says you can't grow it here or there.
Here we are.
There's shit I can. Watch me.
So let me walk like a step or 2 in front of you because then we can see you. Onto our animals. We didn't raise any meat pigs this year. Well, we have them in progress. We have the coonies, but they're not going to be butchered till maybe next spring at the soonest. A failure, would you call? Okay, so this summer we put down one of our dogs. Would we call that a failure?
She was biting people.
She got
That's not a failure. That's just something you
too
have to do.
protective of the kids. She got so protective of the kids that she started snapping at people, and it was time for her to be put down. So that was kind of a bummer this summer, but the kids all understood because we can't have a dangerous...
She was a really good dog with the kids, and she was a barker. Anything came anywhere near this place, she would go off.
So that was Sky Blue.
And off and off and off. These two don't bark. He barks at some things, but Pepper's, for whatever reason, since she had puppies, just isn't into it anymore. She's become...
She would like to be a house dog now.
Yeah, and she's not a house dog.
Yeah.
She doesn't bark. He took over dominance of the whole place, and I think that's part to do why she's not...
Cleon Brodus got fixed a week or so after Pepper's puppies got weaned and went to new homes. And we had a total dominance switch, and Pepper went from head honcho to now Cleon Brodus is head honcho. We didn't expect that after he got fixed.
Everyone said get her fixed, that'll solve your problem.
Yeah.
No.
No.
It made more problems.
So, a crappy thing, this big field behind us, it was planted in a hay crop, and it's probably going to have to be replanted next year. I don't know how well that did.
Some of it maybe. It did pretty good considering.
Considering a drought year, yes, but considering that that planting was supposed to be...
That field got one good rain. Yeah. That was it.
That perennial crop was supposed to last us like 10 to 15 years. And it's probably going to need to be replanted next year, and hayseed's expensive, so that's a bummer.
We'll see what the spring brings.
We'll see what the spring brings. We had, so last, so 18 months ago almost, spring, it was still frozen when we got piles of rain. So all that rain just ran off. So it turned, like, we haven't had rain that truly soaks into the ground. We haven't had enough of that. We've had a lot of rain when it's frozen out and then it all runs off, and that's not useful rain to us. We need rain that soaks down.
It fills our ponds.
And
about it.
Yeah.
The ground's not saturated.
Yeah.
As you can see.
Yeah.
But that's everywhere.
It's dry.
It's everywhere.
So
We'll just make do with it.
chickens this year. Chickens, this was not our year for chickens. We had a freak thing in the incubator where like almost half of the chicks died within 48 hours. Like they were still in the incubator. We think that it got too warm in there. Like we have hatched with this thing. This is the third year, and somehow it got too warm in there or something. And like half of them died. So then we only had 25 left. And then there was a break in communication on who was taking care of those when they were like 6 weeks old, and they almost all died. So that was pretty crappy because we only hatched two rounds.
Failure, it's a catastrophe.
It's a catastrophe. That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
That was super crappy, but you know what? Like there was a miscommunication between the kids on who was taking care of them. I'm not out here milking every day, and I lapsed and didn't check chores for a few days. I trusted they were doing them. Marius trusted they were doing them. He's normally checking. There was just like, there happened to be a few days where nobody checked up on that chore that kid was doing. And we lost, I think we have a few left.
I didn't even go in there.
Yeah. A chicken win, though, is that we had multiple hens hatch chicks for the first time ever. That was really cool.
Yeah, right before winter.
Right before winter, a bunch of them did that. It's like, oh, that's great. But we have 2 chicken coops, so we have the hens and chicks in one, and then the rest of our flock in the other one.
Mm-hmm. Teacup.
You should write a teacup. You want to walk back and get it?
No.
So,
keep doing what you need to do. Oh, look, an egg.
It's an egg laid right. Like, why is there an egg there? Why is there an egg there? So, while it wasn't an overall catastrophe in any way, except for the chickens, those chickens, it was just a lot of like not turning out quite like we hoped, but we knew with it being a drought year, I mean, everybody kept hoping we would get rain, and there was maybe a week or two in August when we got rain.
Not much.
But not enough to turn the year around.
Too little, too late.
Yeah, too little, too late.
It was a great fishing year.
It was a great fishing year. You know what? Because there wasn't so much to do in the garden in a lot of ways, because like harvests were just kind of trickling in. There wasn't like, bam, so much to do at once until now. We got away fishing multiple times.
Oh, the fruit trees were a train wreck.
Oh yeah, because they had all blossomed. Here's a sour cherry tree behind me. I think we got 2 sour cherries. They had all blossomed, and then we got that freeze in June and July, and they all died. So we got nothing off of any of our fruit trees. Oh, and we planted some fruit trees last year that just didn't come back this year. So that was super cool. We're in zone 3, northern BC. It's cold here. And honestly, I think like because of the gardening, this is why I don't feel that you could eat a sustainable plant-based diet up here, because plants only grow half of the year if you're lucky. We've had frost every single month this summer. It is a struggle to grow vegetables here. Do you know what grows really well here?
Weeds.
Meat, eggs, milk, those things. Our milk cows, fish, wild game, that is what thrives here.
Established fruit trees usually do fairly well.
We just don't have many.
It's been an oddball year.
Yeah. So like our cooney pigs, they'll be like breeding and having babies in the winter, early spring. Hopefully, we'll see. We're not sure when we're breeding them yet. Our milk cows will give birth in October, and all winter, while it's stupid cold, they will be producing really well. So to live a local diet, you have to have animals in your diet up here.
We're not really northern BC either.
We're halfway up BC. That's the crazy thing. It gets a lot colder farther up you go.
Graphical center, British Columbia is only like 3 hours away from here.
Yeah.
So we're just north.
But we're at a nice point where like you get much farther north and they can't even hardly grow hay crops because it's too it's too cold.
Pretty much the end.
But then they can grow like things outdoors that we can't because they have longer, hotter days that we don't.
They're coastal.
They
get a more intense summer than we do.
Yeah. So.
And they're closer to the sun.
There you go.
This garden did pretty good.
This garden did pretty good. This is the kitchen garden in here. I'll take you on a walk through it. So these are my elderberries, and they actually grew tiny little elderberries. A little too late for them. We hope they overwinter okay. And then you can see this is why we need a yard cleanup. There's like socks in the yard. Why is there socks in the yard? Why don't you just have your socks on your feet when you go inside? Way too much kale because I planted kale that was actually, it was supposed to be broccoli and it was kale. Strawberries, because they finally decided to start producing like way too late. So I've been plucking all of these off, hoping they just put their energies down and they come back good next winter. Next spring. And I thought, like all of a sudden they've decided to start putting off all these flowers. Like, come on guys, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. That one I missed, and it actually surprisingly grew a strawberry. We'll see if it actually ripens. I planted a bunch more brassicas when I thought I lost a bunch. And so I am like way overrun with brassicas this year. These are still gonna come on. Oh, my corn didn't hardly do anything, which that's okay. These calendula are so huge, I'm letting them go to seed because I want to have these nice huge blossoms next year. I do have more calendula over there. My garlic was so-so. I'll doing garlic in raised beds before, but it did not do well this year. And oh look, my spaghetti squash got frosted before it even got ripe. Pig food. Anyhow, this fall we're gonna plant our garlic in ground and see how it does. So there you go.